welcome to the program Salone Star Parade, right on the station SLBC, but I'm right here in Washington, D.C., inside the studio of Voice of America. And of course, I'm here with the great star. Right behind me, you can see the Music Time in Africa. And of course, I'm using the studio of the great presenter of that program, Heather Maxwell. She's the star for this week on Salone Star Parade.
It's Music Time in Africa. Hello, welcome to Music Time in Africa. I'm Heather Maxwell. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Time in Africa. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Time in Africa. Friends, feeling set on point to duty. They keep trying to tell me. So happy, even though they might be hungry tomorrow. That don't get them to down. All of me. Take all of me. Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use. Okay, listen, Malado. The man I want lives right next door. For you I paid a high price, so you better work nice and quickly, discreetly for me. You in my pocket we go tonight. I can't wait no more.
Heather Maxwell. She's the star for this week on Salone Star Parade. And to me, first of all, I want to say welcome to the show.
Thank
Heather.
you.
And it's a pleasure allowing me to use your studio to do this interview.
My pleasure.
In other words, it's like I'm using your parlor to talk to you.
I know.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, actually, I like this seat. This is easy. You're in the hot seat now.
I'm in the hot seat. So we're going to do something right now. Because, you've done a lot in terms of promoting African music. Way back in Africa, people listen to you and people love your program as well. And now as an American, in America here you have what you see, the blacks, you call them the African Americans.
Yes.
I'll call it the American African. How do you see that?
I think that sounds good too.
First of all, Heather Maxwell. Who is Heather Maxwell?
Heather Maxwell is a girl who was born and raised in Michigan on a farm.
Okay.
And has been always somebody connected to music. In the beginning with a family gospel band, and then a rock and roll band with her brothers, and then a classical singer and jazz singer, and over the years also African-inspired singer.
Okay, what gave you the passion to come into music?
I was born into it. My family. My mother played piano. I mean, she always used to play piano, and she taught piano lessons, and she would gather us together for church.
Okay.
And really, I learned to sing Baptist hymns in church. And then we started to form our own group, and we had a family band called the Maxwell Family Band.
Okay.
And we performed in churches all the time. And we did talent shows back before they were televised like they are today. We did real, well, they're real now, but back then you actually went to a place and you auditioned, and there was an audience. There was nothing else. There were no cameras. And you went like from county to city to state. And so we did a lot of that kind of competitive performing as a family band.
Yeah, you started singing at the age of 7.
About, yeah.
About
Yeah.
the age of 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how was it like as a young kid moving around with a band across the United States of America?
It was fun. It seemed natural to me. I never understood why people thought it was anything unusual because, you know, whatever you do in your family seems to be the natural way of things in general. So for me, it was just fun. It was part of life.
Did you have the chance for you to be able to compose a song at that age?
I probably had the chance. I don't think I did.
Yeah, you
I
didn't.
don't think I did, no.
Okay. And also you enter certain competitions, and then you won a scholarship to do music.
Yeah.
How was it like?
That was great. Because one of the things that I wanted to do with my life, even at a young age, was see the world.
Wow.
We used to sit around at the table when I was a kid with my parents and my grandparents. We all lived together. It was like an African extended family in a way in the U.S. And my grandmother, who was the head of the household, she was the matriarch, she would always say almost every night at the dinner table, she's from the South, so she talked like this. She'd say, Heather, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I'd say, I don't know. And she said, well, you could be the president of the United States if you want to.
Wow.
So we always had that discussion at the dinner table about what could you be, you know, and where would you want to live in the world. And so we were allowed to really dream and encouraged to dream. So I wanted to travel. And when I got the scholarship to study voice, it was exciting for that reason more than anything else, because I was going to be able to get out of Flint, Michigan and start seeing the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was it like studying voice? What the difficult part
I
of it?
loved studying voice.
What the difficult part of it?
The difficult part was learning songs that you might not feel comfortable singing.
Like?
And in different languages, like different arias. You know, I studied classical music, so
Okay.
certain songs in English or by a certain composer, I just didn't feel. You know, I just didn't like them, or I didn't feel them, but we still had to do them. Sometimes singing in foreign languages was challenging because you have to learn phonetics. Like I learned how to sing in German, Spanish, Italian, and French.
Wow.
But I can speak French, but I can't speak the other languages. But we
But you can
learned,
sing- you can
yeah,
sing the
yeah,
song.
and that actually helped me when I lived in Africa later on to be able to sing in other African languages as well. I used that same technique
Okay.
and applied it to African languages.
Let's talk about Africa a little bit. You went to Ghana.
Yeah,
Is that so?
yeah.
And to study what?
I went to study music.
Music.
Yeah.
Music and dance.
Music and dance, because the University of Ghana has, I think, the oldest traditional music school. Traditional music.
Okay.
Kwame Nkrumah, you know, he really believed in the African arts.
Okay.
And so they had a school where you learned to sing and dance and play instruments, and it was all kind of one. I would learn how to play the xylophone.
Okay.
I would play it for a half an hour with a big group of students, and then we would shift, and I would go and learn the dance that went to that xylophone piece. And the person dancing would then come and sit and learn the balafon part. And then I'd shift and play the some sort of rhythm instrument. So that was great. I loved it. Absolutely loved that.
How difficult was it, you know, you as a white student, you know, mingle with the blacks as well? How was it?
Great. There was no difficulty at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is Ghana
Ghanaians
the first
were-
country that you...
Ghana was the first country. It was easy for me because at that point I didn't speak any other language except English.
Okay.
So that was easy for me. But Ghanaians were so warm and generous and loving, and, you know, I felt safer in Ghana than I had in many neighborhoods that I lived in the United States. And that was during the time when Jerry Rawlins there was a coup d'etat, and it was dangerous politically, but I never really felt any danger whatsoever in my day-to-day life.
Was it in Ghana that you got your degree?
No, I finished my degree back in Michigan,
Okay.
and I just went there for 6 months to study as part of my degree.
Okay. Now, let's see a little bit, because you play traditional music instruments as well.
Yeah.
Which one do you play?
Well, I play the kamelengoni, which is this instrument here.
Okay, let's just get up.
This guy,
Okay. A nice guy.
nice guy. This was made for me a few years ago when I was in Mali.
Okay.
And I learned to play it, though, when I was living in a village as a Peace Corps volunteer in Mali
Okay.
many, many years ago. The great thing about music in African villages is that that's what people do at night. At least in Mali, that's what people did for fun. And actually, back then, when I was living in this village, it was called Ntosoni
Okay.
in Mali, there was no electricity. There was no faucets for water. You know, you had to get your water from the well. And so at night, pretty much everything shut down. And so people got creative.
Okay.
And I learned this instrument.
So how was it, before you play anything, just how was it like for the first time when this instrument was placed in your hand? How was it like, playing it?
It was fun. I felt a little awkward because I was one of the only women that play. Normally it's played by men.
Okay, yeah.
But that's one of the great things about being a foreigner, is that you get certain exemptions from cultural norms that an insider wouldn't be able to do. So normally women aren't, it's not looked well upon for a woman to play this instrument. There are a few pioneers, but when you're a foreigner, you can break rules and it's okay. So that was good. And I had heard people playing this a lot, so I kind of knew what it was supposed to sound like, and I kind of knew how to hold it and stuff like that.
Okay, you're holding this right now. Do you have a song in mind that you think you're going to play for?
Yeah, I have a couple songs.
I just need one for now, like the blues song.
Okay.
I think you spoke about a song backstage. There was a song called Summertime.
Exactly.
What that song?
Well, Summertime is an American classic. It's a very old American song that many, many, many blues and jazz singers sing when they first start out. So, excuse me. I wanted to be able to sing some American songs like that to this instrument. So that's what this is. Summertime is the American song, and then I put it on this old Malian traditional rhythm that I was taught in Mali.
And I want to get a feel of it right now.
Okay, the Malian rhythm goes like this. That's the rhythm, and it usually just stays that way.
Okay.
Well, I changed it a little bit so that I can accompany myself to the blues.
Wow.
So I added this note, and I go back down here. And then when I want to go to the 5 chord, because blues is 1, 4, 5, I go.
Okay.
That's the 5. And here's 1 again.
So in other words, it's like a traveling from up, and down again. So let's get a song now. Let's get a song, Summertime song.
Okay. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Wow. Nice song. Well. Once again, the program is Salone Star Parade. And the star for this week on Salone Star Parade is no other person but Heather Maxwell, the host of the Music Time in Africa right here on VOA. Welcome to the program once again.
Thank you.
Summertime, nice song.
Thank you.
Who do you dedicate that song to?
My mom.
Your mom.
She taught me that song.
Wow.
On piano, not on
I love
kalimba.
that. We spoke about Ghana.
Yeah.
Let's forget about Ghana now. You went also to Ivory Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. You did go there.
You did a lot of research on me.
I don't know. I'm just
Scared.
And, you went to Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
What took you there?
Well, truth be told, a man, but a musical man.
Wow.
So I met a wonderful Ivorian keyboard player, pianist in Paris, who is from Ivory Coast, and he was just getting ready to go back to move back there and make a studio, and he had dreams of returning home. So I went with him.
Okay.
We were in love, but we also were in love with the music we were making.
Okay.
So we went back to Ivory Coast together and built a home studio in a neighborhood called Williamsville. And we did a lot of really, really fun stuff. We sang in some jazz clubs. We recorded one album called Woro, which means cola nut. And I also sang a lot of backup vocals for other Ivorian artists that were coming in to get their songs recorded in our studio. So that was fun. I met a lot of different Ivorian musicians and was able to sing in some Ivorian languages.
Well, that's nice. But I just want to get your experience. When you first entered the studio to record a song.
Yeah.
How was it like? The
In
first
Ivory
day.
Coast?
No, I'm talking about your first day. We're going back to Africa, but now your first time you entered in the studio to do a recording, to record a song, a piece of song that you composed.
I remember, no one's ever asked me that.
Well, I'm asking you now.
No, I like it. I'm just now trying to think. It was in Detroit.
Wow.
And in Detroit, my brothers, who are both older than me, they were rock musicians. And so they were the ones that they were putting together their first album. And they wanted me to come in and sing backup for them. And I remember it just being so exciting, everything about it. I love the studio. Even today, I love the studio. That's part of the reason why I love working at VOA, because we're in the studio a lot. But it was really satisfying. The most exciting thing, I think, was singing and then hearing your voice on tape afterward.
Okay.
And it was like, I sing like that? I didn't really know I sang very well. But then when I heard it, I was like, hey, that's not bad.
Okay, you list your cassettes in Ivory Coast. I think on the Samasa
Yeah.
and EMI.
Yep. Pate Makoni EMI.
Okay.
Samasa was the first album I did, and that was in Mali before.
Okay.
When I was living as a Peace Corps volunteer, when I learned this instrument.
Okay.
I recorded a cassette back then by Samasa, produced by Samasa. And that one was with a singer named Jenaba Sek,
Okay.
who is still very active in Mali today. That was her first real cassette, and we did a project together.
How was the sales? How did people receive the album?
Oh, they loved it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun because I was singing in Bambara, and I'm white, and she and I sang together, and I studied it hard, just like I learned to do in school. I tried to sing perfect Bambara, and it was super fun. And Malians really loved that. In Burkina Faso also really loved it. We made one or two music videos.
Okay.
And they just appreciated mostly that me coming from America, which is a powerhouse country, as you know, would come and take the time to learn Bambara and to learn how to sing. And they were really happy about that, and they were proud about that.
So in other words, you're a superstar, or was a superstar. Do people still know you, by the way, out there?
I think
in
so,
Ivory
yeah.
Coast?
Even last year, I met a Burkina Faso younger man in New York.
Okay.
And he said, I know you from somewhere.
Wow.
I said, is it the song Domba Kononio? And he goes, yeah, that's it. So
how was it like for you to train the Bambara, to learn the Bambara language?
That was fun. I mean, it takes discipline to learn a foreign language. But again, because there was nothing else to do in this village for 2 years where I lived, except be creative. There, when you have no TV, radio on battery, but otherwise, you have to use your mind and your body, and you have to be active and do things. And so I just put myself to the task of learning Bambara.
Okay.
And so I would go in my little house. I had my own little home. I would study for like an hour or two with books. We had a few books.
Okay.
And then I would go out and I would try to apply it. And so I would speak to people. And, of course I would say stupid things and everybody would laugh. But in the end, I learned it.
You learn. Now, you're a singer, songwriter, and composer, and also instrumentalist.
Yeah.
Which one do you like best?
You know what? I like being an instrumentalist when I'm not the lead. Wow. I like playing accompaniment.
Okay.
Like with this instrument. I like playing it, and as a rhythm instrument because
Okay.
it's really rhythmic.
Okay.
When I'm in a band and I'm just doing my little thing and in back.
You're on the backstage.
Yeah, I like
And then
that.
playing for a lead vocalist.
Exactly.
So what the problem if you play the instrument at the same time, do a lead vocals?
No, I can do that too. If I'm just playing
Okay, you like
this
it.
thing, yeah,
Okay.
then I don't want to try to play it solo.
Okay.
But singing, I have to say, is my favorite thing because that's what I know the best. And singing, you have a story you can tell. When you have an instrument, you can't really tell a story. Or if you do, people have to imagine by what you're playing that you're feeling this way or that. But when you're a singer, you can actually sing a story.
Okay, I've done most of interviews with artists, and when you ask them about how do they compose songs, they have different stories. The way they get their songs, the way they get their story in composing songs. How do you get your story in composing songs?
I usually take from real life.
Wow.
And if it gets too personal and I feel like maybe I'm disrespecting someone in the true life story, I might adapt it and change it a little bit. And then I take a rhythm and I start with a rhythm. And so I take the story, I try to write it, and then I take a rhythm that I like, and then I try to fit the two together
Okay.
and make it work.
And how long do you take to compose songs?
I take a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a week?
Oh, months, usually
Months,
months.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, but if I'm strapped, then I can come up with something really fast. And sometimes that works really good.
Okay, you just spoke about the language that you train in Mali, Bambara, is that also?
Yeah, Bambara.
You got a song in Bambara.
Yes.
Which title? Because I think I want you to do a live performance for me right now so that
Oh, sure.
the fans, people that love you so much will definitely hear you sing
Whoa.
that wonderful language. What is the title of the song you want to perform?
I want to sing Kanakasi.
Kanakasi.
That means don't cry.
Wow. Who did
It
you dedicate
means
that
don't
song
cry. It's a folk song.
Okay.
And actually, since we're in Voice of America, we broadcast in about 45 different languages here.
Okay.
And we have a Bambara service.
Wow.
And so I just ran into one of my friends, Mariam Traore, and I said, do you know the folk song, Kanakasi? And she's like, yeah, I know that. I said, well, would you mind coming up and singing that with me because I'm about to go up and do an interview. So she's here.
She agreed.
Yeah.
She's here. So we need to call her right now.
Yeah.
So let's call the wonderful lady. What's her
Mariam.
name? Mariam. And of course, we're going to take the song called
Kanakasi.
Don't Cry.
Don't cry.
Stay tuned. This is Salone Star Parade. And of course, the star for this week is Heather Maxwell, the host for Music Time in Africa.
Yes.
I don't want to cry. So let me
cry.
get a feel of it right now.
Okay, Mariam. On bena Kanakasi na.
Angate manai.
Aywa.
Awa.
Kanakasi njarabi kasi tu mama se njarabi.
Kanakasi njarabi kasi tu mama se njarabi.
Kanakasi polo ni lagare kasi tu mama se lagare.
Kanakasi njarabi kasi tu mama se njarabi.
Kanakasi e maron wolo basa yo mai.
Njarabi.
Kanakasi e maron furuche sa yo mai.
Njarabi.
Kanakasi e maron wolo desa yo mai.
Njarabi.
Kanakasi nkanunyo kasi tu mama se kanunyo.
Kanakasi njarabi kasi tu mama se njarabi.
Kanakasi polo ni lagare kasi tu mama se lagare.
Kanakasi njarabi kasi tu mama se njarabi.
Wow. Kanakasi.
It's a folk song.
folk song,
It's
okay.
a folk song, and it says, Kanakashi, baby, don't cry. Kanakashi njara, because it's not time to cry.
Not time to cry.
Not time to cry yet. And then the little bridge part is, Kanakashi maron furuche sayamai. Basically, don't cry now, because if you really want to cry, wait until your husband might die.
Wow.
That's something to cry about. Or, and then the list goes on, or your mom, or,
It's
or
like
your child.
it's like a consoling song.
It is.
Consoling
is.
somebody from
It is.
being so sad. Eh?
Exactly. It's like, oh, baby, don't cry about that.
Wow.
It's not sad. You don't know sadness.
Did you record this one? In any of your albums?
I did in the one that we did in Abidjan, but we did it with like a jazz feel.
Okay.
It was a different thing. Yeah.
And people love it.
Yeah, people liked it a lot.
Okay, okay. Now let's come to something else. In 1990,
Yeah.
I think you did something. You came into America again.
Yeah.
With the Ivorian partner.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah.
And of course, you formed a group.
Yeah.
Which was not successful. Why was it not?
Well, I don't know. I think, number one, we had a baby. And it's hard. In America, it's really hard to have a life as a musician and make a living. And then when you have children, a lot of times here, when you get married, you strike out on your own and you don't live with an extended family. You don't have brothers or sisters or cousins or aunties or grandparents who can just help you with the baby while you go off and continue your working life. Okay. You are responsible for it. So we were sort of in that situation where there was just the two of us and the baby, and we were also in a city. We moved to Denver, Colorado, which was not really a big music city. So with all of those struggles, we never really just got off, we just never got off our feet.
Wow.
We just never got off our feet. We weren't making enough money in music, and then one of us always had to watch the baby, and we didn't have family around. So
it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard.
And later you left performance and then went to teaching.
Yeah.
To the academy. How was it like? Why did you forget at that time performance and then go back to school, start teaching music?
I don't know. I just realized that as a mother now, that became number one role. That was my number one job.
Okay.
And I wasn't seeing a future as a good mother and a musician in the United States. If I was in Africa, and in fact we had discussed that, let's go back to Ivory Coast, and then your aunt and your cousins and your sisters can help with the baby, and we'll continue doing our music. But we were here, and so that just didn't seem viable. So I decided to go back to graduate school actually and teach, because teaching, you're not 9 to 5. You can stay home, you can do your lessons, and you can go off and teach for a few hours and come back.
Okay.
And it's not nighttime work. So it just seemed to be a better career choice at that time.
Okay. And later you formed a group called African Soul.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about African Soul.
Well, that was many years later when I was teaching at the University of Virginia. Okay. My daughter was already in high school, so when your kids are in high school, they don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. And you don't need to be around them. In fact, they don't want you around them. So I had more free time. And I started this group with a lot of my students, and I was teaching them a couple different African music classes. Okay. And some of them who were musically gifted said, oh yeah, we want to join. And so I took some of these traditional folk songs and some of my own and recorded a new album.
Wow. And how was it like?
It was great. We went on tour. We went back to Mali and performed at the Festival sur le Niger, which is one of the biggest music festivals. It used to be. A few years back, it took a big hit when Mali had the coup and the problems in the north.
Okay.
And that was just terrific.
You were also in a group.
Yeah. Robert Jaspe.
And
Inner Rhythm.
And you did 2 albums where you did a lead.
Yeah, well,
is it Rhythm Now and
exactly. That was an EP and Heartbeat. And
tell me a little bit.
Well, that's more pure jazz.
Okay.
And so I started singing jazz mostly with this band. I play a xylophone too, and so that was really fun to add to the group. So we did that for a few years. It was really, really, really fun.
Really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Big time, huh?
Yeah.
But you left the group.
I left the group.
Why?
Because I'm going to put this down.
Of course, yeah, you need to. Because we're going to go videos now.
Oh,
yeah, I have your videos anyway.
Oh.
So we're going to go videos now. But before that, why did you leave the group?
I left the group because I left the state of Virginia. My daughter, when you're a mom, it's always connected to what your children are doing. So, and I just have one, so I really doted on her. But she graduated from high school and went to college. And so I knew she was leaving, and I thought, what am I going to do? I need to do something else with my life now. Coming back to my childhood days when my grandmother kept saying, well, what are you going to live, and what do you want to do? So I always have this urge to go off and explore somewhere else.
Okay.
I think I will never, ever stop having that urge. I keep waiting for the moment when I'm like, I'm tired, I'm going to stay home, but I never do.
And you went to Africa. You went to Mali.
I went to, yes, I went to Mali on a Fulbright.
March 22nd,
Yeah.
2012. There was a coup d'etat.
Yeah,
Which brought you back to America.
exactly. And it brought me here.
And
to
in
VOA.
May, you joined the VOA.
That's right.
So how did you come about becoming a member of this wonderful place?
Oh, that was terrific. You know, right before I went to Mali, I went on a Fulbright scholarship, which is really an honor. And it's something that was exciting for me because I could go and I taught at the Conservatory of Music. Mali has one conservatory,
Okay.
postgraduate studies for the arts and multimedia and music. So I was able to go there and teach about American music to Malians.
Okay.
And I taught voice.
Okay.
So right before I left, Leo Sarkeesian, who is the founder of this show, Music Time in Africa,
Okay.
he contacted his right-hand woman, actually, and said, I need somebody to replace me.
Okay.
And she and I used to work together in academe.
Okay.
And she said, I know just the person. She's an ethnomusicologist. She knows about African music. She's lived in Africa. And she's also a singer. And she's used to being on stage and in front of the camera. She's your girl.
Okay.
Or your lady. So they said, we really would like to bring you on board. But I said, well, I got to go to Mali, you know. And so we kind of kept in touch when I was in Mali. But then when the coup d'etat happened, I had to leave early. And so I said to them, are you guys ready for me now? Because
You're free.
I'm suddenly free.
How challenging was it, you know, for you to come here? You know, starting
Oh,
doing
it was-
something that have you
Yeah.
been doing any broadcasting work before? In fact,
I had done some. When I was in college, I had my own radio show.
okay. So how was it like? You know,
But
broadcasting
it was
for
new.
the whole of Africa.
The learning curve was high at first. And at first, I think I was really academic.
Wow. Okay.
That didn't sound very good.
Okay. Okay. And later you
I listen. I'm a very critical self.
Okay.
I criticize
Okay.
well myself.
Okay.
And I heard that and I thought, oh my God, I got to change this up. So then I just loosened up and started having fun,
Okay.
and things were much better. But I love it here. I love the voice of America.
So though you've been studying listening to different African music, but when you came to VOA doing this music Africa time in Africa, did you come across new African music as
Yes.
well?
Yes, I thought I knew a lot until I started
Especially
working
my
here.
country, Sierra Leone. Did you
I
get
didn't
any
know
Sierra Leone
anything about
music?
Sierra Leone.
So now it's time for Sierra Leone aspect of this big interview. When are you going to Sierra Leone, and when are you ready to promote Sierra Leone music?
I will come to Sierra Leone as soon as I'm invited.
By who?
Anybody that will receive me.
But I've seen a different platform where you go to different countries, you know. Do the country invite you, or do you go there voluntarily?
Actually, sometimes I go with VOA just to meet some musicians and get new music and just kind of get the feel of what the tempo of music.
Okay.
But if I really, the best way is when I come and I'm invited by the embassy, someone in the American embassy in that country.
Do you guys request for that?
Yes, that would be great. And then what happens is they ask me to come as an ambassador, a music ambassador for the United States and for VOA. And I come through the embassy and give concerts, go to schools, go to music and arts centers, and perform my American music, but then also mix up and play with Sierra Leoneans. For example, so if I come to Sierra Leone, then we can get together some jazz musicians or traditional
We have
musicians.
a lot of them. Many.
And we work together and we perform together.
So why can't you write a request to the embassy now, requesting that you want to go to Sierra Leone? Is it possible?
I'm not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that?
No,
Okay.
because there are rules, you know. This is political too. And there are rules that we cannot do.
So how do you want me and David Vandy to help you in doing this? because I need you there. We need you there because you're popular in that country. People listen to your program.
I would love to come Sierra Leone. I mean, David Vandy is always telling me about how I should come. And recently I was at an event where there were a lot of Sierra Leoneans, and they were having a good time.
Big time.
And that was the first time I was in a crowd of Sierra Leoneans.
Have you done any research on Sierra Leone music?
A little bit. I wrote some they have this big encyclopedia of African music that is put out every couple of years, and I did that. I wrote several chapters on music from different parts of Africa, and Sierra Leone was part of it. I think, was it Mende? Do you have a Mende population?
Oh yeah, we have Mende. Mende,
so
Timne, Limba,
exactly.
Susu, and all the rest.
Okay, so all of these
Madingo,
ethnic groups.
we have them
okay,
there,
but I can't remember specifics because it was a while ago.
Okay.
But the Sierra Leonean refugee all-stars have come through.
Oh yeah.
Who else have I met? A few other Sierra Leonean musicians. I can't remember right now.
Okay.
But I would love to come. I really would.
Okay.
And all it takes is an invitation, and then I'm there, and I can spend maybe 10 days or 2 weeks.
You hosted me a couple of months ago in your program, and I gave you some Sierra Leonean music.
Yes.
What was your take on them? When you listened to them for the first time?
It was great.
There's one particular one that you like so much.
Which one
The
was
one
it?
from Bobby. We ended the program with that very music anyway. Now,
okay.
coming back to Sierra Leone music, is it possible for you, if you have the chance to go to Sierra Leone, to work with local stars like you've been doing in Mali and Ivory Coast as well? Maybe teaming up with them and compose a song. Do a song in the studio? Will you do that?
Exactly. I did that the last time I was in Africa. I was in Kenya, Nairobi, and I did a song that's supposed to come out. I don't know if it's out yet or not. We also did a music video with a local artist there named Wino.
Okay.
And it was so much fun. We had like 2 days. That's why when you ask me if I take a long time writing songs, I do. But if I have 2 days, I'll write a song in 2 days too.
Okay, we're still going to come with Salone at the same time and then end this program. But first, let's just go with a video clip that you did.
Okay.
You call this one Malado.
Malado.
Malado. What is Malado, by the way?
Malado, Miriam, Malado is the name of a woman.
It's the name of one.
It's a
You
Malian
know that
name.
song, by the way?
It's not a song.
No.
I made up the song.
Oh, you made up the song.
I just took
So what
the
the
name.
meaning? What? Okay.
Here's Mariam doesn't know this too, so I'm going to tell her. It was an experience that I had personally when I lived there, that a friend of mine wanted a man to love her, and he didn't.
Wow.
At all. I saw it. He didn't look at her, but she had to have this man. She didn't know what to do. So she went to a marabout and asked him to do something for her, make some potions or give her some powerful words to speak so that he would fall in love with her. So I wrote this song. I call it Malado, but I just picked that name because I like that name. But I put the name to a little bottle with powder in it, and I call that Malado, which is basically the magic.
Like
that
a
is
charm.
Exactly.
Powder, okay.
And so I'm singing to Malado.
Changing the mind of a guy.
And I'm singing to Malado, saying, it's time for you to work your magic. I paid a lot for you.
That's why you're tiptoeing. Tiptoe the song.
Yes.
Well, let's go with the song right now, Malado, the video clip. I love the concept of the video anyway. We're going to go with the video right now, and when we come back, we're going to talk again in terms of African music.
Okay.
Once again, the program is Salone Star Parade, and of course, I'm right here, the studio Music Time in Africa, VOA, and of course, I'm talking to the host of African Music, Heather Maxwell. This is a video clip she did, and she called this one Malado. We'll be back.
Okay, listen, Malado, the man I want lives right next door. For you I paid a high price, so you better work nice and quickly, discreetly for me. You in my pocket we go, tonight I can't wait no more. We slip into the kitchen, go to the bedroom, and then I scatter your magic powder on his pillow. Hey, oh, here we go, just us two Malado, tiptoe, shh, no one will ever know that I cast your spell of love on that man I want. I know it's wrong, God forgive me. Hey, oh, here we go, me and you Malado, tiptoe, shh, no one ever has to know that I cast your spell of love on that man I want. I'll be good to him, I promise, Malado. With that magic powder called Malado. And enslave you with just one blow, brother, on your pillow. The very next morning you in love shackles. Watch out for Malado, brothers, watch out. Incantations off my lips. I pop your top, moving my hips like this. Very gently I blow. Okay, baby, go. Now come on, work your magic, Malado. Hey, oh, here we go. Just us two, Malado. Tiptoe, shh. No one will ever know that I cast your spell of love on the man I want. I know it's wrong, God forgive me.
Yes, welcome back once again, Salone Star Parade with me, King Millan, and the star for this week is Heather Maxwell, the host of Music Time in Africa. You said this is the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat.
Malado, this song just played Tiptoe, the charm, everything. Yeah, how did people receive this song?
Oh, they loved it. That was one of the songs I took with me to the festival sur le Niger when I sang there. Actually, I did that 2 times. People really, really liked that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they liked the video.
Now let's talk a little bit about your show, Music Time in Africa.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of interviews with big stars.
Yeah.
Which one is your most important interview that you've ever done?
Oh, my gosh, that's hard.
Hard, I know.
What?
One day I'll
The
be
most... You mean the most exciting?
exciting, interesting one, the one that you can definitely say this one.
Okay.
was like,
Well, there's 2.
Okay, 2. Okay, give me.
Okay. The first one I thought of was a group of 3 women
Wow.
that came through a couple of years ago. One was from, 2 were from Ivory Coast, and 1 was from Cameroon. Caris Fotso, Manu Gallo,
Okay.
and Dobe Nyaore. They were awesome, and they also had some great other players. It was
Okay.
packed in here. There was,
Okay,
They, they had other musicians, but it was wonderful to have these vibrant women who were really, each had their own style. They had beautiful, powerful voices, and they sang about things that were not often sung about because, most of the time the stars touring and traveling are guys.
Oh, yeah.
So it was really fun, and they sounded good.
Okay.
And so that was a highlight. And the other one was Oliver Mutukudzi.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tuku. He was just awesome. And he was all alone, just came in with his acoustic guitar and sat here. And you just feel the power and the greatness in that man, even though his voice when he speaks is kind of soft and raspy, but he commands the stage.
Okay.
So that was really great.
How do you enjoy your job?
I love my job.
Oh, you love.
It's I really sometimes I work here like way more than than is necessary
Wow.
because it's what I do, it's what I
I
love.
like that. I like that.
And so I really love it.
So in other words, when you love something, you do it with all the
It's
passion.
yeah,
all
it's
there.
part of you. It's part
Okay,
of you.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what the hardest part of you in terms of working here? Very challenging.
The
task.
hardest part I guess it's not being able to go to Africa as much as I'd like.
Wow.
So I'm always doing a show every week, talking about African music and what's happening. But it always energizes me when I go someplace and spend time with musicians and just regular people,
Okay.
because then I really get a sense of what's happening, what people like, and I can bring that to the show. So every once in a while, what's challenging is, say I've been in Washington maybe 6 months, 7 months, I haven't gone anywhere.
You want to leave now?
Yeah, I'm about ready. It's about
So
time.
next time, just book a ticket to Red Try Hard so that you reach Sierra Leone. People want to see you.
Okay.
And then we'll take you to the deep side of the villages and then talk with the villagers. We have talented traditional musicians.
I'd love that.
I think you will come with a lot of materials.
Good.
I'm urging you now to go.
Okay.
If you want to give advice to musicians that are free to perform in front of a crowd or do live performance, what would be your advice?
You know what? Probably the most important thing is to practice beforehand.
Okay.
Not just the day of, but regularly practice. Because what gives singers the most anxiety when they're about to sing a live show is they're not, like I said before, they're not sure what's going to come out because they don't know their own voice that well. You only know your own voice if you, every day, you work it.
Okay.
Every day. And that way, you know, you might get jitters in the beginning, but you know what you're going to sound like. So there's no real big anxiety in the background. That's what I would say.
You're a real teacher.
I'm a teacher.
We need you in Sierra Leone. We need you. Well, now, let's just play this one clip and then we'll round up. This one clip is this song called Mango Tree.
Okay.
And I'm meant to understand you composed this song during the coup d'etat
Yeah, I
in
did.
Mali.
Yeah.
In your room.
My apartment.
Lockdown.
Yep.
What came up at that moment?
What came up was they had a lockdown for a day or two when there was, you know, firing, you know, arms, guns going off all around the city. That made sense. But after that, most Malians continued on with their regular life outside. But because I was an American and associated with the American embassy, we were considered targets, we're obvious targets, and there was, you know, so they told us, don't leave your house.
Okay.
So I'm in my apartment, and I could see over the balcony. It was a beautiful apartment, like a luxury apartment. But I could see over the balcony, there's a tree outside, a mango tree. There's a garden. The ladies are gardening. They're drinking tea, having fun.
And you want to join them?
Yeah. And I'm stuck in this room. And the only thing I could do was play piano because I had my keyboard.
Okay.
So I started just literally singing about what was going on.
Before I play the video, could you give me an acapella on that one? No, I know your voice, but never mind.
Mango tree, your shade looks lovely from where I can see. People sitting under you, trying to beat the heat. 106 degrees.
I love that. I love that. Let's just pause for a while now and play the video and come around finally. Mango Tree, the host for this week, Salone Star Parade, the great Heather Maxwell. We'll join you back.
Mango tree, your shade looks lovely from where I can see. People sitting under you, trying to beat the heat. 106 degrees. Mango tree, people under you seem so happy, even though they might be hungry tomorrow. That don't get them too down. But look at me, sad and alone in my beautiful home, just across the street. I've got every
Yes, welcome back once again, Salone Star Parade. Finally, we're about to round up, and of course, the sound that just listened or watched, the sound called Mango Tree by the guest for this week on Salone Star Parade, Heather Maxwell. Welcome again.
Thank you.
I love the song, Mango Tree, people sitting around the tree. It's nice, and I love the video as well.
Thank you.
Something else I love about the song, towards the end, when the way you called or the way you did the mangoro.
Yeah.
Mangoro.
It's a little play on words. It's nahong. Nahong means come and take. Nahong.
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 And mangoro.
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 So come take the mango. Come on, let's party.
You pronounce it, you're saying it exactly the way Africans, most of the Africans do.
Yeah.
Mangoro.
Mangoro.
It's nice, isn't it? well, Heather, it's a pleasure. But all the same, we need to say something a little bit about inspiring younger people that love African music.
Yeah.
What will be your take in inspiring them right now?
Inspiring listeners to enjoy their own music or
Yeah,
musicians?
that's what musicians and the listeners as well. You can just
For the
appreciate
both?
them. Yeah.
Well, for the listeners, I would just say, I guess, try to find the beauty and the value in your own music. The grass always seems greener on the other side, but it's not. It never is. And, supporting and having fun, listening and supporting your own music is really great. I try to do that here with my own music, American music, jazz, and it's good to do that, to support your own singers and your musicians. For musicians, it's kind of a similar advice. You all want to make money, right?
Sure.
So you can make money locally with weddings and those kind of local gigs, but a lot of people want the big money, or they want to travel and they want to see the world. I can tell you that from the Western perspective, the best way to do that is to create a music that has a large identity rooted in where you come from, where you can hear, or if you make videos that you can see.
Okay.
And then make it modern, make it hip, make it cool by bringing in some elements that are world popular, like hip hop or whatever. But really try to keep the flavor Sierra Leonean.
I love that.
Or from whatever town you're from, or from whatever region you're from. If there's one instrument that comes from your town, pull it into the music, and make it something unique. The West likes that, and that's what we want to hear.
I love this advice.
Oh.
And I think it's a pleasure, telling people out there, because we'll have a lot of artists thinking that they need to do Western music all the time instead of shying away. Most of them are shying away from the African style of music. I think I love this advice.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And do you love your lips?
My lips?
Your lips, yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
But you don't want to make use of them. And your
In
hands
what
as
way?
well. Do you like your hands?
Yeah.
But you don't need them no more.
Oh! I get what. Like, what the heck are you talking about?
So now we're going to end with a song that you did called All of Me.
Yes.
Tell me, I love those parts,
Oh, thank
Come
you.
take my lips because I don't need them no more.
No.
Take my hands because there's no use of me. Tell me a little bit of this song. I'm going to end right
This
now.
song is an old jazz classic written in the 30s or 40s.
Okay.
It's a classic jazz tune.
Okay.
I've been singing it my whole life, since day one, since I started singing. It has been one of the main songs that I sing it when I wake up in the morning. I sing it without even knowing I'm singing it.
Wow.
So I wanted to do it. I wanted to put a French verse to it.
Okay.
Because I speak French and I want to reach out to Francophone people in the world. So I thought that was fun. And so I put the French part on it. And I also added more of an upbeat rhythm. Normally it's sung in a swing style.
Okay.
So this is an upbeat rhythm. A friend of mine, David Ludman, who is American but also a great saxophone player and arranger, he arranged the horn parts.
Okay.
So it has kind of a Caribbean feel.
Yeah.
So it's a very new twist on an old American classic.
Who really did you do this song for? You want this person to get use of your lips and your hands as well.
It depends on the year.
And you released this one December 2015 last year.
Yeah.
And how was it like? It was a single.
Yeah, it was great.
People love it.
People really love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure for you to be in this wonderful program, Salone Star Parade.
Thanks so much.
And please make sure, definitely, you go to Sierra Leone. We need you.
I'll see you there.
God bless you. well, but that is stuff for this week on Salone Star Parade. Her name is Heather Maxwell, the host of African Music Time in Africa, right here in VOA. And of course, I'm right in our studio. It's me, King Millan. Till I meet you next week, may the Almighty God bless you. I'm going to end with a video clip on the wonderful star, all of me. Till then, God bless you. Bye-bye.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Oh, how can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart.